Hey, welcome back everyone. It is time for another red hot cover call video. Hey look guys, today we're going to talk about something that piqued my interest. It was an article on Yahoo about writing covered calls for that Christmas cash money. It's funny how everybody's getting into the act of writing covered calls and selling cash secured puts to make that extra guaranteed income. Been talking about that for a year and a half, guys, and finally they're noticing. They're noticing that it's a very conservative strategy to generate that guaranteed weekly and monthly income. But you got to know how to do it, guys. You can't willy-nilly this stuff. You got to have your golden rules, and that's what we talk about here on this channel. Now, guys, I am going to break down one of the trades they talk about in this article. Now, guys, they're going to talk about Microsoft here, and I'm going to show you Microsoft is one of my favorites. But hey, look, before we get going, hey, guys, if you like what we're doing here at the channel, subscribe to the channel. And hey, look, if you like this video, bang that like button, guys. It lets me know you like what I'm doing. All right, guys, let's go to that article real quick. This is an article from Yahoo Finance today, where this cat right here, Lawrence, says, hey, look, writing covered calls to generate that Christmas cake. Well, guys, he talks about three companies, and they're great companies: Microsoft, Apple, and JP Morgan. And I'd probably write covered calls on all of them. Why, guys? Because they pay great premiums, they have tons of volume, and guys, I'd like to own the stocks. See, guys, those are some of the golden rules we need to follow and adhere to make sure we're using this strategy in its most conservative form. Now, look, I want to get to this trade. I want to break down the trade he describes to you. I want to see if my weekly covered calls versus his 40-day covered call idea works out better. Because I think you can make more money using Microsoft in a weekly format versus a 45-day format. So guys, what does he talk about? He tells you to buy Microsoft stock right now at $82.78. Well, the stock isn't trading at $82.78. It's trading at $82.42. So guys, we're going to have to buy these shares at $82.42. Then he's going to tell you, hey, look, you want to make sure you don't write this covered call during earnings. So he's going to tell you to write the January 19th. He's going to tell you to write the $82.50, and you're going to get paid over $2.20. Well, guys, it turns out that's not the case, and I'm going to show you that you're only going to get $1.98 for this, and quite frankly, that is the ask. So I don't even know if you can get $1.98, but we're going to run the numbers anyway. Now, guys, I'm going to show you my weekly trades to show you that you can make more money if you were to do it weekly, picking up those crumbs that I talk about all the time. Let's go over to that chart where I show you why we want to pick companies like Microsoft, Nike, Starbucks for our weekly covered calls. What do I tell you all the time? We want companies that have high volume. We want high institutional ownership. Why? Because they're buying them. And when they're buying them, they have open interest. Why do we want open interest? Because our bid-ask spreads will be pennies, literally pennies. We can buy back the options if we want to, or we can let them expire, keeping the shares, keeping the premium. But when we have open interest, that means people are there wanting to buy our options back. That gives us that flexibility to hit doubles and triples on the same stock in the same time frame. So guys, it's important to have the big companies, great S&P type companies. Why? Because you have to own them. You want to own them? Well, you want to pick the great stocks. And guys, you want to have that upward trending stock. Look at Microsoft here, guys. And when I play weekly, guys, I tell you all the time, I love trading stocks that trade in these very narrow windows. Why? We avoid the FOMO. What is that? Fear of missing out. Man, right now I own NVIDIA. And I'm afraid to write the covered call on NVIDIA because I'm afraid it'll rocket past and I'll miss that upward move. Not with Microsoft, because I'm not afraid, because I know it trades in this window. And it'll rocket up, it'll come back down, and I'm able to play it time and time again. Now look, let's jump over to that Microsoft trade real quick. I'm going to show you where a weekly trade versus this 45 trade is more profitable. You just have to do it 3 more times versus the 1 time Lawrence suggests. Now guys, I show you this spreadsheet here because I have done many weekly options. And quite frankly, guys, I have a lot of success. Yes, I have some red trades there, and we've talked about them. But for the most part, guys, mostly all green money-making trades. That's why I'm talking about this today. Guys, let's talk about this trade. Now, using my crumb calculator. By the way, this crumb calculator will be added to my total tracker spreadsheet. So I need you to go to the website, download this in the coming days because it's going to have this crumb calculator in the spreadsheet. Guys, I love picking up crumbs. Now guys, let's talk about that trade. Right here is Lawrence's trade. Now he tells you to buy Microsoft at 82.47. Well, we know that when he wrote the article, the price was different. He tells you to buy Microsoft actually at 82.78. He wanted you to write the 82.50, which is an in-the-money covered call. So the time value is going to be less. I'm going to tell you to write the out-of-the-money strike so we can pick up a little more premium for the time we're doing it. So now, in this case, you were going to get 220. Well, you don't get 220 because if we brought up an options chain on Microsoft, you're only getting $1.98. So I plugged in $1.98. And guys, when we run that 45-day trade, he ends up making cash on cash annual return 19%. In the short term, he picks up 2.4% for that 45-day trade. Now that's not bad. And quite frankly, I'd take it as a juicy crumb. But I'm going to show you that Microsoft, if you were to do this same cash on cash in a weekly time frame, you're going to make more money. Let me set the stage here. So first of all, this is not weekly in the sense of every single week. This is every 2 weeks because, like I said in my last video about weekly, guys, usually I like to buy the stock on a Thursday, write the next Friday's covered call, and chances are when I go to write the next one, the premiums aren't quite right, so I'll do it every 2 weeks. And I tell you in my videos, I don't expect to write weekly covered calls 52 weeks of the year. I expect to write covered calls maybe 25 or maybe 30 times a year. So I'm going to stick with that theme, guys, because that's more realistic. So in this case, guys, in that same 45-day period, I'm going to write 3 covered calls in the 2-week fashion versus the 1 covered call for 45 days. And when we do that, guys, I don't know where the stock's going to be, so I'm going to use the numbers for each of the 3 trades that I would make. And it just gives us a general look, an eye-opener as to how much money you can make when you stick to those weekly premiums, when you use the weeklies. Because, guys, when you use the weeklies, you still get juicy premiums, and you're collecting the weekly cash. So in this case, guys, today's numbers are this. If I were to buy that stock at 82.47, just like I did for the 45-day trade, notice a 82.50 gets me 85 cents. And when I do that, guys, I pick up 1%. That's for a 2-week window. We do that 3 times, which would give us 45 days. Guys, I'm knocking down over 3.9%. And guys, that's a 55% gain year on year, cash on cash. Now, guys, I am going to tell you that writing that in the money strike, that's not how I want to play that. I want to play the out of the money strike. So if I'm buying the shares at 82.47, I'm going to write that 83 strike. I can still pick up a nice little premium on the option and the stock movement. Guys, when we run those numbers, that option's paying 60 cents. Even though it's less than the 85 cents the in the money 82.50 would pay, the 83 out of the money pays 60 cents. Look at this, guys. I would end up picking up for this 2-week trade. Remember, I'm going to do it 3 times to equal the 45 days that Lawrence wants you to do. That 2-week trade is going to be 1.3%. Guys, you extrapolate that out 3 times. That is knocking down the money, and it's beating his suggested covered call. And I would also tell you, you have more flexibility because you're in a trade, out of a trade. And guys, there is a chance that Microsoft could go higher. You could use your exit strategies to your advantage to make even more money. Now, guys, the only way you get there is if you have your financial education and you get your experience. Now, guys, I do monthly options on Microsoft when I'm holding the shares, but I prefer to do the weekly ones because I can turn those over about every 2 weeks. And guys, in this video, I talk about doing that 3 times. There is a chance that if Microsoft were to dip from 82.47 to maybe 81.50, I would buy that option back, maybe wait a couple days, let it go green like it has been in this market. Then I write the same covered call, doing a double in the same week. Guys, we can maybe get 4 trades out of this. Maybe that'll work out for you. And hey, quite frankly, I might even do it myself. Hey, look, before I get going, guys, if you want that updated spreadsheet, I offer them up for free. CPT dashboard, free spreadsheets. And hey, guys, while you're there, sign up for that newsletter. Man, I've got hundreds of people that have signed up, and I'm just about ready to get it out there. And I'm telling you now, it's coming out every month in 2018. And guys, my next video is about 2018 and the ideas that I have to move us forward. Move us forward. So we're getting the experience, so we're having success. Because guys, whether the stock market goes up or down next year, we are going to have success selling premium. Guys, I hope you stick with me. And hey, look, if you like this video, man, bang that like button, guys. And hey, look, until next time, I hope all your covered calls are profitable.
All I see is signs, all I see is dollar signs. Oh, money on my mind, money